when I went to Las Vegas, I got drunk and I spent all my airline money, and I just love life. I got drunk and love life.
I'd probably say when I graduated TROSA, so 2-year vocational rehab program. It's in Durham. Graduating that was a pretty big event, pretty life-changing event for me. So I would say that. Felt great. Felt like things, felt amazing. I did. In short.
The best day of my life would be a parasailing. Ocean City, New Jersey. So it wasn't that eventful, but I saw stingrays, and I love stingrays. Love them. Yeah, there's a lot.
To date, I don't necessarily think... So this is a tough question because I'm pretty hard on myself. I don't necessarily think that I've had the best day of my life yet. I don't think there's been a day that succeeded my expectations to the point where it was the best day of my life. So I feel like every day I'm still kind of waiting for that best day of my life, but I can't confidently say that there's one that sticks out yet.
I do have an answer to this one. During the pandemic, which is probably something you don't hear very often, me and my best friend, who is now my boyfriend, were living together, and we went out. We would do this multiple days out of the week because we weren't working. We would just go and walk up this stream that was close to our house, and one day we did it all day, and we had so many different things happen, and it's still one of the best experiences I've ever had. But yeah, I have a lot of those kinds of experiences with him though, which is nice. Yeah, just the amount of things that happened that day, because sometimes it feels like it was multiple days. The amount of adventures that we had. We waded through over our head water. I caught a fish in a net that isn't very easy to catch, and I caught a fish in my hand, and it was just a ton of things that when you think about it, you're wow, is that a week of time? No, it was one day. So it was that was really special.
Oh, best day of my life? I don't know if I could pick that one out, honestly. I can't say that there's a single best day of my life, Maybe the day I was born? I don't remember. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I wouldn't be here if it, wasn't for that day, so.
It's really hard to rate that, I think. You to view every day and say this is the perfect day.
I would say when it's a festival. I really love going to festivals. Those are the best days of my life, I think. Music festivals. I really like that. Vibe is just really chill, and everyone talks to each other. You can drink something, you can eat good food, you're with your friends, so yeah.
I had some days where, for example, for traveling, where you go with your friends to special places. Those were pretty cool. Sometimes it's also the day-to-day life that's really cool, when just everything works out what you wanted to have, and then that's also very good days. That's what I would say.
I don't know. I think I'm still looking for that one. I think I'm looking to peak. I don't know. Different question. I don't know. I can't make that decision right now. I've had a lot of them.
Probably graduating high school. It's pretty good. Pretty big moment. Just exciting. My family members proud. That's pretty much it.
Oh, best day of my life. I've actually been waiting for somebody to ask me this for a little while. So I just graduated from Pitt, University of Pittsburgh. Thank you. That was back in May, but I was in the marching band there. And so my favorite day was probably Pitt needed to win the football game. It was against the University of Virginia. We needed to win that to make the ACC championship game. I know it's a sore subject for we're down here in Raleigh, where it's NC State territory, so sorry to NC State, but so we needed to beat Virginia to make it to that ACC championship game. And it was such a close game, we ended up winning. And I remember the band did a cool halftime show for that game, and I remember I had 9 family members come to that game too, because my family tried to come down. I'm from New York originally, so they all tried to come over for 1 game or 2 games a year. So they all happened to be at that game. And I just remember us getting dinner after, and my girlfriend was able to come too, and it was just a great night. I had a great day.
Wow. That's a great question. The best day of my life was the day I found Morphe. So she's actually a rescue. We were just outside in the garden and she just came up to me. I started looking around. I was like, where'd she come from? I called the shelter. I looked online. No one reported her missing. She wasn't chipped or anything, so she just became mine. And 4 years later, here we are. Yeah, she literally came to me. And the craziest part is that day, I was thinking, man, I wish I had a dog. And then 4 hours later, she popped along. Yeah, God really does answer your prayers. I think I need to start manifesting more things.
Getting engaged. Crazy. Someone wants to spend the rest of their life with me. He, the last 5 years, has not been able to surprise me. I always figure out, like, anytime he wants to get me flowers, I figure out if he's going to. And so he had me go change in a bathroom, and then I walked out and he was on his knee to, like, surprise me, and I did not see it coming, so pretty good.
Oh my goodness. The best day of my life. I'm a pretty religious person, so I feel like the best day of my life is probably the day that I found Jesus and, accepted him into my life. Just really hopeful and really joyful.
When I married my wife.
Oh, that's a hard one. We have a really great life. So I'm serious, we do. We have a great family and we have 5 boys. Obviously 2 of them are right here. The best day of my life. Do y'all have an answer?
I don't think there's just one day. I mean, we've had 5 boys, and I think every day that they were born is probably each of those are the best days. They've all been a blessing. So.
Yeah, and we spend a lot of time with them, so we have a lot of good memories with them. So I don't know. Today's been a great day. We went riding e-bikes on the Greenway, and they flew up for the weekend. So today's been a really good day. So. Okay.
Probably I don't know if I have a favorite day, but definitely a lot of my music concerts that I perform in, because it's my time to shine. I do all my school's music groups, so I'm in chorus, I'm in orchestra, and I'm in band. A lot of it's more classical, sometimes Broadway music also.
The day my baby brother was born, I was 17 and he was a surprise, and then I don't know, it was really exciting to have a new sibling and get to experience that over again. He's 2, so as close of friends as you can be with a 2-year-old. Yeah, he's hilarious. Little terror.
I don't know, that's tough. Probably my bar mitzvah. My bar mitzvah was pretty good, yeah. All my family there, all my friends, just everybody coming from all around the country, see my big day, becoming a man. It was pretty good. It was a day all about me, just videos my dad made, put together and stuff, just a bunch of speeches and stuff. It was a good day.
That's a difficult one. I think for me, I'd say when I was in high school, I used to row, so I did that for a year. I think making that decision to quit, because I feel like it bettered my mental health and it helped me focus a little bit more on academics.
I don't think I've had the best day of my life yet.
Oh, the best day in my life is that I got a girlfriend that's, really loyal and, 100% not too fake in everything anyway at all. So that's the best day of my life.
Probably, I'm trying to think. Probably the day I started high school, honestly. Because I met a ton of new people I really liked, so. And now we're all friends, so. That was probably the best day of my life.
Do you want to go first?
I need a moment to think about that.
Couldn't possibly choose one.
Oh.
You can, though. Look at that.
I have a good one.
Here, come closer to my
Okay. Well, one time when I was 17, I had a friend that took me to my first house show and introduced me to alt culture, all that fun stuff. And it was so fucking weird, but I just went into this guy's basement and everybody's dancing around. There's 50 people and everybody's sweaty and they're just jamming out. And I came from a very, religious, background, so this is all very new to me. But it was just like the most crazy experience, even though it sounds pretty mundane, like saying it out loud. And then I just like sat outside in their yard and nobody was on their phone. Everyone was just like talking. It was just strange, but in the best way. So, yeah.
I cannot choose one, but I will choose my favorite day from last month. That's as much as I can narrow it down. I just got back from visiting Ireland, and like every day there was really spectacular. But there was one day in particular where I went kayaking with a friend out on this crystal clear lake and met his family, and we got ice cream and got like stuck out in the water, and it was just really beautiful and super spontaneous and lots of fun. So that was my favorite day in the last month.
I don't know if I have like a particular best day of my life, just kind of like any day like today that's just like sunny, and a day where I can just like be at peace and be outside is always like a really great day for me, but no particular best day.
The best day of my life was probably when I chose to do things for myself. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't remember that day, of course, but it was subconscious. Like, I just started to become more independent, I guess. It felt very like energizing, I guess. Like, it made me feel like I could take control of my life more than I do. So it was nice. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I think it was probably, can you get in the microphone fine? I think it was probably when I went through my first like big breakup, and my dad had a trip planned to go to Kodiak, Alaska. Like a not once a lifetime trip, but a really big trip that he'd been looking forward to, a little hunting trip with some of his buddies, whatever. He lives out in Colorado. I had gotten down this really good break. It was really, really low spot, and he had canceled his plans. And he called me up. He was like, "Buddy, what matters more right now?" I was like, "You do whatever you gotta do. Like, I'll be fine." You know, classic, just brush it off. You know how it is. And he drove all the way from Colorado in the span of 2 days, just overnight, to see me. And I don't think I've ever cried so hard, like just sitting there on the bed next to my dad, because, you know, my parents are divorced, and like, so relationships a bit shoddy here and there. Like, my dad's over in Colorado doing his thing. I'm here in Virginia, here on James Madison. So having him come down, he drove all the way here across the country to see me, and I think that's probably one of, if not the greatest moment of my life, or day of my life, because it was something that showed that, you know, it was one of those moments where I knew someone, like my family, really, like where you express he really cared about me. And, you know, those moments I feel like where you really feel that are few and far between. So I probably treasure that for the rest of my life. So that's a big one for me. But yeah, it's definitely something that I treasure. I don't think of, like, it's not like it's on my mind all the time, but whenever like I really have to reflect, that one's always just like sitting in the limelight for me. So any more?
All right, off the top of my head, I guess, best day of my life. About a year ago, me and some buddies, we went down to the Band Together concert down here. We volunteered out there for a little bit. We got to come back, and then we got to see one of my favorite bands out there play. So we got to see it in the VIP section, everything like that. So just kind of top to bottom every day. It was just kind of nothing but net all day. So beautiful weather, everything like that. It's definitely a day I remember very vividly. I saw Krungbin out here. Yeah. It was a great concert. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
The best day of my life. I would say that would have to be the birth of my daughter. 9903, actually. It completely changed and altered my life for the better. Really gave me a lot more to think about and consider, and more to live for ultimately. So that's it. Before, I would say I was much more, I thought much more of like an individual before, and after I more or less decided to transform my entire life to be dedicated to nothing but her and for her.
That's a hard question. I think there's not one best day, actually. That's some days that come together as best days in life, I think. You want to know what's specific, or I don't know, like there's some days with my football team, like soccer team, that were really amazing. Then some holidays with my family, like the first time I went to the United States with them was really crazy. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The day I got my car was probably the best day of my life.
Probably the day I graduated, because I was done schoolwork for life, I guess. I don't know.
The day God opened my heart and eyes up to him, when I went through a depressed state. One of the best days of my life. Because I was, I was doing drugs heavy, drinking to the point where I almost died. And I got locked up and I did nothing but cry and sob for like a whole week. And I'm very spiritual. I never really took the time out to read. And God's words is truth, And I meditated in the Bible day and night. And God came to me. And ever since then, I've been doing great. I'm trying to get emotional now. I start best moment of my life.
Me, alive. That's it. Me existing. I'm the best thing that has happened since God. Yeah. I come in second, but he's gone, so I come in first. I'm completely sober, so.
Well, for me, it was probably soon. I think it was after or before graduation. I went on a picnic with the beach with my friends, and we were just chilling, kind of just enjoying the simple things in life. Yeah, relaxed because I was done with 12 years of school. It was nice to be with friends, and also we're all going our separate ways soon, so it was kind of sad as well, but happy that we were all moving on as well.
Yeah, I would say that my happiest day was prom, because it was just so nice to be well dressed, and it was we weren't supposed to have it because of COVID, and we ended up having it, so it was quite nice. It was very nice because also I was drunk, so it was so nice. But yeah.
Oh God, probably figuring out I got into a college I wanted to get into, so JMU.
What did that feel like?
Pretty exhilarating. I didn't expect it at all, so it was a really good moment.
I think one of the ones that stands out the most to me, and one of the ones that I remember the best, is going on trips with my dad, and specifically one where we got to go to see the Colosseum in Rome, was just one of the coolest things that I've ever done. And, just the whole fact that he wanted to do that with me was just one of the most awesome things. It was both amazement because I love the history, and it was just joy at the fact that, I'm getting to do stuff with the family and getting to go out and see amazing places. It's really, it's one of the great gifts that our families can give us at times, is going to take us to see amazing places that, we've never seen before, and getting to expose us to a different part of the world.
The best day of my life? I'm not really sure. That's a hard question. I can give you a couple really good days. So when I first started hunting, the very first time I went hunting, that was really good. That was my first experience into the woods by myself. And then my first ever fish that I caught, it was a small bass, but I was 6 at the time, so it was life-changing.
Probably the best day of my life was the day I got married. It was in 1994, and I married a person who was, as I would describe it, my very best friend. And I've been happy ever since. Tomorrow's our wedding anniversary. So, and I think the thing is that people, especially young people, don't say that marriage is a progression through life. You both change as it goes along, and maybe your expectations need to be modified once you find out what your real mate is like, what their personality is like. You sort of change the way you think about it, and you think, gee, am I the right person? I think of an old sort of a message that I read in 17 magazine, in which when I was 15, it was advertising a cologne, and it said, if you want him to be more of a Romeo, try being more of a Juliet. And I think I stick by that. That means to give more of yourself, to think that if you're meeting his needs. It also means trying to remain that girl that he married. You certainly have a right to your own life. You have a right to your own profession. And I think the other person has to understand that. I think many times that's why marriage breaks off. One person doesn't appreciate that the person they married is not, Barbie and he's not Ken. You're real people and you have real desires, and you come from a background where maybe something really bugged you, something really bothered you, and the other spouse can provoke those old feelings and not even know it. So stay in touch with yourself and talk to each other.